The Gospel of John, chapter 2. On the third day there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus and his disciples were also invited to the wedding. When the wine ran short, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." Jesus said to her, "Woman, how does your concern affect me? My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servers, "Do whatever he tells you." Now there were 6 stone water jars there, the Jewish ceremonial washings, each holding 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus told them, "Fill the jars with water." So they filled them to the brim. Then he told them, "Draw some out now and take it to the head waiter." So they took it, and when the head waiter tasted the water that had become wine, the head waiter called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves good wine first, and then when people have drunk freely, an inferior one. But you have kept the good wine until now." Jesus did this as the beginning of the signs in Cana in Galilee, and he revealed his glory, and his disciples began to believe in him. A short excerpt towards the end of the Gospel of John, chapter 19. Standing by the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sisters, Mary the wife of Clopas and Mary of Magdala. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple there whom he loved, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Behold your mother." And from that hour, the disciple took her into his own home. Story of John's Gospel, well known to us, specially chosen by John himself, who was a great friend of Mary, you know. He took care of her after the death of Jesus, her son, and lived with her for many years. So he had a lot to say in this Gospel, and yet what do we find? He only has her on 2 different occasions, and only 2. John introduces Mary at a wedding. It is at Cana, and he says in his Gospel, the mother of Jesus was there. No name, just the mother. But mother is all that is meant by her relationship with her son, a relationship unique as is every mother's. She was there, and so was Jesus with his disciples. At the wedding, she sees a problem. The wine is running short. She takes the initiative of what to do. What can she possibly hope for? She is not in her own home. She is just a guest. The bridegroom is responsible to supply the wine. So she does what she always does. She goes to her son. It could be an embarrassment for all the family, she says. Something needs to be done, she hopes. Mary knows her son so well. She is full of hope. Remember, too, that this is the first time we've come across Jesus, so we know nothing of his other miracles whatsoever. Mary says to Jesus at the wedding, "They have no wine." But we discovered early on that the wine was there, but it was running low. A slight exaggeration with her son. But his response to her is puzzling, and it is enigmatic. "Woman, what is that to me or to you? My hour is not yet come." To us, that sounds a bit of a brush off. But not to Mary. She immediately, without another word, turns to the servants. She knows her son. She knows so well. She never hesitates, not even for a moment. Do whatever he tells you. No questions, no doubts, just do it. Do whatever he says. It was the way she always lived her own life. All her hope rested on his word. He was her rock. Their friendship was the source of her whole life and her hope. Be it done unto me according to your word was her own mission statement. At this wedding in Cana, on this occasion, however, it is Jesus who listens to her word, and he does the miracle as we have read. His hour has come at her word. His mission is now started. He has set his face on the road to Calvary. Turning the water into wine was the first sign, St. John tells us. This story we know so well. It is in chapter 2, as I mentioned, near the beginning of John's Gospel. The next appearance of Mary is towards the end in chapter 19. Mary and her mission appear like bookends. John takes us in chapter 19 to Mary at Calvary. Again, no name. She is called the mother of Jesus. Standing by the cross of Jesus were his mother. She, the chosen one, to bring God's Son into the world, chosen by the Father to be the mother of God's own Son. She protects him with the help of Joseph from the wrath of Herod, the king who wanted to kill him. She nurtures and educates him in Nazareth for 30 long years. She teaches him his prayers, accompanies him to weekly service in the synagogue. On festivals, they went together to a temple in Jerusalem. Oh yes, she was his support through all those years. The Father had chosen her to be his mentor. The Father trusted and he hoped. The Father chose her and hoped in her. She was indeed the mother of holy hope. At the cross of Jesus beside the mother was the disciple whom Jesus loved. No name, just someone that Jesus loved. And we think of the place, it's Calvary, a place of execution. No place for any woman. She had no place being there at all. Today on our screens, when something nasty appears or is about to appear, a warning comes to alarm us and to make sure we take care. But nobody warned Mary. She appeared because her son was there and she was standing. A horrific scene awaits her. The Romans crucified the death subjects. They hated the Jews. It was much too demeaning and brutal. They meant it to be so. They were very professional about their executions. For them, Jesus was just another Jewish boy. Standing by the cross, Jesus says, not fainting, not whimpering, not crying, a woman standing upright beside her dying and abused son. She did not understand why, but she had to be by his side. She was his mother. Helpless she may be, but she was not without hope. She waited for a word, his word. Jesus spoke, "Woman, behold your son." That word again, woman. No softness, no sweetness. Woman is the same word used at Cana, but to a Jewish mind, it would have meant something else. They would have gone back to the Garden of Eden. In that garden, Adam called his companion bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She is called woman, and he even gave her a special name. That name was Eve, the mother of all living. In the middle of the Garden of Eden was the tree of life, everlasting life. They, Adam and Eve, were forbidden to eat of it. Jesus, nailed to his cross in the middle of two thieves, dispenses the fruit of his tree of life for all. From Calvary flows the living waters of life for the whole world. We have the word of Jesus for it. Mary is here, standing at this tree with John the Beloved. A man, a woman, and new life is created. Jesus says to John, "Behold your mother." and his word is true. As it was at the Annunciation, so now at Calvary, the word of Jesus creates a mother. Mary has become the mother of a new family in which all the disciples, men and women, were to be siblings to Jesus. She is to love them as she loved him, her firstborn. They are to love her as he loved her. Behold your mother. Jesus says, and his word is true. It does what it says. Do whatever he says. In Bethlehem, she gave birth to her one son, Jesus. On Calvary, she gives birth to all the sons and daughters of Jesus. It is truly a new creation, the mother of all living. All nations shall call me blessed, she says in her magnificent song. Her relationship was indeed changed. His hour had come, and his glory was now being revealed fully in a way she could never have imagined. John ends his story of Mary with these words. From that hour, John took her into his own home, and that is exactly what we are to do. Hail, Holy Mary, Mother of God, Mother of mercy. Hail our life, our sweetness, and our hope.